Cleveland Browns Stadium all set now for the Jets and the Browns, and the coin flip won by the Jets. Hello friends, Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms, and the Jets elect to kick the football away. Phil.
Of course they do. They want to get their defense on the field, and they want Colt McCoy, the rookie quarterback, to see how he reacts to it.
All right, Colt McCoy for the first time will go against an opposing quarterback that has not won a Super Bowl. His first three opponents were Roethlisberger, Breeze, and Brady, and he comes out of it 2-1. So the Jets are going to be delivering the football down to Josh Cribbs. You know how dangerous he is. He's run 8 kicks back in his career, an all-time NFL record. Although this year pretty stagnant, his number's not up to norm. Nick Folk to kick it for the Jets, and it's a liner that's going to be on a couple of hops into the arms. Well, mishandled for a moment. Cribbs picks it up with one hand, and he's surrounded in a hurry. So that's a tough beginning for McCoy from about the 13-yard line. Here comes Colt McCoy. He has not thrown an interception in the last 2 games. That first start at Pittsburgh, his 2 picks were both deflections, not really his fault. He's very calm, very ready for this moment with all that experience you spoke of, Phil, at Texas. Thomas has never missed a snap in his 4th year out of Wisconsin. And Peyton Hillis last week, 184 yards against New England, the 2nd highest rushing total in the league this year after Arian Foster of the Houston Texans week 1 against Indianapolis. So they'll start from the 14 in a little rollout throw, incomplete in the area of Chancey Stuckey. Now that Jet defense, Rex Ryan told us this should be a great game for the likes of Bart Scott and David Harris. Bart Scott called it, when he met with us this week, a battle of wills today, expecting to see so much of Hillis. And Rodney Poole, along with Edwards, co-captain here today. Poole played his first 5 years in the league with the Cleveland Browns. So a 2nd down and 10. And now they'll go to Hillis. Little hurdle, high step, and it takes both Leonard and Poole to knock him down at the 20. 3rd and 4 coming up. Let's get a little Phil Simms philosophy.
Well, we saw Peyton Hillis to running. What does it do to linebackers? Look how they freeze, and it allows Ben Watson to get down the field. How's that for a throwing lane for a young quarterback? So you can say what all you want. We just saw it on that first play. Peyton Hillis, just a different style runner than we usually see in the NFL. This guy runs at you, able to go outside, but has tremendous power once contact is made.
Cribbs is in the game. His lineup on the left side. They shift Hillis out of the backfield. Straight drop from McCoy. He throws, and they pick up the first down with Hillis. So they get out of the jam, and they get it out across the 25 with the 6-yard completion. Calvin Pace bumps him out. First down, Browns.
Power runner Peyton Hillis. Then they get him outside and get him matched up against Calvin Pace. And when you watch this Cleveland offense, Colt McCoy, good job getting time. But when you watch this offense, Jim, they need all 3 plays a lot of times just to get 10 yards. And that was just a good example. You see them do what they just did a lot.
So from the 26, new set of downs, and they go Hillis. Goes up the middle into the arms of Buoha and Bart Scott. We met with Peyton Hillis, of course, traded back in March from the Denver Broncos, and when he got that first call from Eric Mangini, Mangini said to him, this is going to be the land of opportunity for you here in Cleveland. You could be a 1,000-yard rusher here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, come show us that you got the talent, what we think you do, and you earn the carries. And that's what he's done, Jim. He's come here, earned the carries. Not only that, he has shown everybody once again he has tremendous hands, and they use him in the passing game too.
Looks like the trade steal of the year in the NFL. As on 2nd down, McCoy throws it over the head. There is a flag thrown on Eric Smith. The pass was in the direction of Benjamin Watson. Hillis picked up a blitzing Rodney Poole that allowed McCoy to at least unleash the pass.
The pass. Illegal contact. Illegal contact. Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Terry McCauley, the referee, confirming the infraction on Eric Smith.
Down the field, what happens is it's the double move that time by Ben Watson, and that's what the Cleveland Browns want to do. They want to use their running backs, tight ends, the inside receivers to try to make those moves, get down the field, and get those big plays.
So another first down at the 34. Set up screen with Watson. Got it. And a whole lot of room in front of him. Watson takes it into Jet territory at the 47. A gain of 19.
Just a tremendous job. The Jets in man-to-man coverage trying to take advantage, come after the young quarterback. And what happens? Once the tight end Watson blocks, they fall into the trap. We talked about it in the open. That's what you want to do. Invite him to blitz? Yeah, go on and get in there and look at the lineman out in front. Womack.
He just outran Womack, and Womack couldn't keep up with him. Watson takes it to the Jet 47.
Take advantage of a defense that's starting out, as usual, very aggressive.
They pitch it. Hillis, he's got room. Hillis down to the 33. And that was Jim Leonard who made a saving tackle, and Joe Thomas who helped seal that left side for 15.
Joe Thomas, left tackle, 73. He's all in one. Comes around the outside. Eric Smith, yeah, he just runs away from him. I don't blame him. He's a tremendous pass blocker, very good in the run. And the one unit on this Cleveland team, to me, that really stands out is the offensive line. Got some talent. Pretty mean, too, which is always a good trait for offensive linemen.
Play action fake to Hillis, and McCoy has his target at the 20. A tumbling Robert Royal, and another first down for Cleveland.
Well, that's a good job by Colt McCoy. As he comes out, there's a receiver right in front that's going to get 4 or 5 yards. Nope, he waits, sees Royal coming across the field, and we've already seen it a couple times here today. The fact that you're worried about the run, the Browns doing an excellent job of mixing it up.
So now at the 19. McCoy flips it incomplete, in and out of the hands of Lawrence Vickers, the fullback. Now this is a team that in these wins over the Saints and against the Patriots got off the big starts in the first halves of those games, but they have not had an opening drive touchdown in their last 9 games, going back to last season, a season in which they closed fast. They won their last 4 after a 1-11 start.
Well, I think that's when it turned around. I think all the players realized all the hard work under Eric Mangini. Learn to work hard first, then you compete, then you win games. They started believing in him, and we're really unfortunate not to win some of the early season games this year.
Boy, they had some fourth quarter leads they let get away. Now it's Hillis on 2nd and 10, the battering ram. He was stacked up at the line of scrimmage and was able to power ahead for a couple. 3rd and 8 on the way.
You know, we say it all the time. You know, we talk about it, you hear me, Jim, and it's just not something that's said, it's real. When you have a running back that can run into the line of scrimmage and he gets 4 yards instead of getting stopped at 2 because he's trying to break it outside and get extra yards, it's huge to the offense. Keeps the situation, gives you more plays to throw the football, and especially when you have a young quarterback, just takes a lot of the burden off of him.
This the 10th play of this opening drive that began at the 14. It's a 3rd and 8 at the Jet 17.
All out blitz, stack the receivers. Top of your screen.
Yeah, they loaded up with 3 receivers to the left. McCoy gets away from Eric Smith, rolls out, lobs it over the top. Watson, no! Cannot hold on. Was overthrown by just a little bit. And they'll bring out Phil Dawson for the field goal try.
It's the blitz. They get in there again this time. Eric Smith misses the tackle. When you miss, you've got to miss to the outside. See, he missed the inside, and Colt McCoy got out. The difference, why they're playing well under him, he's doing a good job, but his movement out of the pocket is making a big difference for this Browns offense.
This is a 35-yard field goal attempt. Reggie Hodges on the hold. Pontbriand will snap it back. Dawson's made his last 11. Dawson from 35, make it 12 straight makes by the most tenured Cleveland Brown player on the roster. 3-0 Cleveland. 11-play drive for the Cleveland Browns results in a field goal, officially 34 yards, and a good job by Reggie Hodges. Ball was getting a little slippery there. You thought these conditions when we showed up early this morning might be really good for the quarterbacks today.
Yeah, but it changed. It's gotten a little cooler, a little breezier, and dry onside.
Look at this. Tries to save it, goes out of bounds. That was Joe Hayden trying to swat it back in the field to play. Boy, I tell you, the tricks, they do come in bunches from the Browns.
Not surprised. I expected it.
Kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul where it went out of bounds. First down.
That means the Jets will have the football at the Cleveland 42. Here was the onside try.
They got him. It's like it fooled the Cleveland Browns. They're not alert for the football, so I'm not sure everybody was on the same page. The Jets had no idea, all in retreat. If you look at it, Jim, if you watch the Brown defenders running down there, nobody looking for the football.
So the Jets' first play, it's going to be Sanchez. Contact on Tomlinson, no flag. Now, we talked a lot about Colt McCoy, just his 4th start. Sanchez had his 24th birthday on Thursday. He's actually 2 months younger than the quarterback on the other side today. Sanchez's first 300-yard performance came last week at Detroit. Mangold, twice a Pro Bowler, coming back to his home state of Ohio. And Braylon Edwards, he's been talking a lot this week, coming back to Cleveland. Not a real original thought about bring your popcorn, but he says he's going to put on a show. We'll see. And that's up the middle with Tomlinson twisting for about 9. It'll be a 3rd and 1 for the Jets. Here's the Cleveland defense that has not allowed a team to score on its opening possession all season, but they give the Jets the short field to start. Fajita coming over from the Super Bowl champion Saints. And Elam made a big strip last week in the win over the Patriots. Of course, he comes over in that trade that elevated the Jets from 17th in the first round to the 5th pick to take Sanchez. 3rd and 1, and Tomlinson has, with ease, the first down at the 30. Running behind Matt Slauson.
Excellent job. The New York Jets coming out the very first play. They go for the home run throw down the field. Browns ready for it. They have it covered. Mark Sanchez throws it away. But when they run it up inside, the Jets have so many weapons. And then Brad Smith came in the game. He fakes the reverse. It made the defense stop. But Damian Tomlinson got inside for a good run.
First down at the 30. Tomlinson's had huge games in his career against Cleveland. They fake the Tomlinson. They've got an open Keller. Dustin Keller cuts back, gets about 9.
You know what? All those things I said about the Cleveland Browns, okay, just repeat it, because you could say it about the Jets offense. They line up. That offensive line can move it. They can run it. So these types of plays, look at Keller coming all the way across the formation, fighting his way through, still gets open. Take advantage of the fact that you have an excellent running team. Settles this Cleveland defense down, too.
Brad Smith in here at quarterback. He takes the snap, goes straight up the middle, picks up the first. So they snap it to Smith. He picks up 4. I look at these number 16s on the field today, so similar in what they can do. Cribbs and Smith.
Well, Brad Smith has had, I think his role just keeps getting more defined, and he gets better at it. You know, when he comes in, you got to be high alert. He's either going to be the quarterback, he's going to take a reverse, he catches a screen. Works well.
First down at the 17. 3 receivers to the left. Sanchez going left, and there's Edwards with a catch. And you're going to hear the reaction for Braylon Edwards here in Cleveland as he stopped, and now a little scuffle. And a whole lot of jawing and shoving. I think an official got a little bit of that too. Well, we got a Browns player down in the meantime. It's Sheldon Brown is down at the 10-yard line. We'll have an injury timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new Windows Phone. It's time for a phone to save us from our phones. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
What got lost in all that fracas there for a while was the fact that Sheldon Brown, the one who made the initial hit on Braylon Edwards, his helmet collided with the left shoulder of Edwards. And then everybody starts pushing, even one of the officials getting a little bit pushed out of the way by Edwards.
Yeah, Sheldon Brown just took the full impact on his left shoulder. You know, I don't know, Jim. Am I right or wrong? It just seems like we have more of that pushing and shoving now than ever before. I just don't remember it being such a big part of the game.
No,
just play.
It's definitely intensified.
Just, you know, play hard. Sheldon Brown's really played well for the Cleveland Browns. This is a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
Him going out.
He's backed up by Joe Hayden, the rookie they took with the 7th pick in the first round out of Florida.
I thought last week Sheldon Brown, Eric Wright against the New England Patriots, it was borderline outstanding. They made it difficult for Tom Brady to throw the football, no question. Jets on a very good drive, very diverse, just coming out, just showing everything. I like it when they play this way. And when you're a team that can run it and you have so much pride in your defense, when you get a lead, it magnifies what you want to be and who you are.
It is going to be Hayden on Edwards at the top of your screen. And a 2nd down and 4. They'll go ground with LT, and he's pushed down at the 8. It'll be 3rd and a long one. Coleman's the one who pushed him down. The last time the Browns gave up an opening drive touchdown was last season, early last season, against the Ravens, all the way back to September 09 when McGahee scored on them. Last time they gave up a first drive touchdown. 3 receivers to the left. Holmes wide left. 3rd, we'll call it 2. Sanchez waits, now throws, incomplete. They were going for Edwards. TJ Ward, the rookie out of Oregon, tipped it away. And the Jets will have to come out and try to match the Dawson field goal.
Yeah, nothing there. I'll tell you what happens. They're trying to throw it to the right flat. Oh, almost gets, that's trouble. Mark Sanchez, it's a little bit of a panic throw. Did it a lot of times in my career. Gets lucky it's not intercepted, but trying to throw it in the right flat to LaDainian Tomlinson, the linebacker for the Cleveland Browns, saw it, disrupted it, ruined the play.
27-yard field goal try by Nick Folk, who tied it last week at the end of regulation, then won it in overtime. From 27, sneaks in that right side, matching 3s on the board. Ward almost comes up with the pick. They deny Edwards. Jets with a field goal.
Kick. Now what that did, Eric Mangini, he drew first blood, but now all special teams high alert. They're walking out there, both special teams coaches, be alert for this, be alert for that.
Jets had not put points on the board the last 3 games. Of course, with that short field, the Browns fortunate that it's only a 3-point net in the end. And Cribbs will not run this one out. We'll begin the series at the 20. First quarter in Cleveland, 3-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty. And by Sprint, the Now Network.
back here in Cleveland. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and you know, Colt McCoy, decorated career at Texas. He won 45 games, winningest quarterback in NCAA history. Only college quarterback, Phil, in college annals to have at least 10 wins all 4 years. And as you said, you made the point, didn't expect to play this year, but a whole lot of experience in big games, of course, albeit the college level. He comes out with play action. First option shut down. He's going to take his 5 yards and step out. We're going to take it to New York for our first update of the day. James Brown.
Hey, Jim and Phil. Vontae Davis pass interference call of 33 yards against Randy Moss. That opens up the way for Chris Johnson, his 17-yard jaunt to the pay dirt. All knotted at 7-all. Chris Johnson supposed to be the beneficiary of Randy Moss on that squad. Jim
for McCoy and the Browns. Hillis. He takes a couple of Jets with him, and the ball's out. Recovered by New York. He had the first down across the 30, had 2 Jets on him. David Harris recovers.
When you have this running style of Peyton Hillis's, you take contact. Look how much longer he goes with the football after contact is initiated. So the longer you go, the more people that rally around you and hit you. And that time the Jets finally knock it out.
Boy, he must have felt it coming. He put 2 arms around it, and they still were able to pop it out. And the Jets 2 possessions now for the game, both starting on the Cleveland side of the field.
I think what the Jets are finding out on the defensive side, this offensive line is really good for the Cleveland Browns. And Peyton Hillis can deliver the mail. There's no doubt.
Sean Green is in the backfield now for New York. And a flag thrown from the back judge. It'll be a delay game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This starting with a short field is not something the Jets have been doing recently. 41 of their 43 previous drives had started on the other side of the 50, but 2 for 2 today.
Well, that tells you a lot, Jim. It tells you, you know, that the defense of the Jets, it's not quite surprising people the way it did last year. And when you don't surprise them, you're not getting those turnovers.
A 1st and 15 now from the 36. Here's Green's first handle. Rubin got to him first. And we'll go for our second update. Back to you, JB in New York.
Hey, Jim and Phil. Colts capitalizing on a Cincy turnover. Carson Palmer picked off here on 2nd and 9 by Kelvin Hayden. 31 yards to pay dirt. Hayden's second pick this season. Both were scores. 10-0 Indianapolis over Cincy in the first. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
All right, of course, we saw Kelvin Hayden back 3.5 years ago in the Super Bowl win over Chicago. Return one for a touchdown off of Rex Grossman. He has one early in that game. Play action, and Sanchez sidesteps the pressure and dumps it off to Richardson for no gain. 3rd and 10 coming up, Phil.
Well, the one thing I think the Jets want to do today when they play action pass or when Mark Sanchez drops back, they want to get it down the field. And they have so many matchups that I think they think favors them. But the biggest one is the tight end, Dustin Keller. But the one thing the Cleveland Browns are doing, they're being aggressive at the line of scrimmage with Dustin Keller, making it tough for him to get down the field.
Tomlinson returns as the running back. Need to get to the 21 for the first. Pass caught again for no gain. Maybe a yard. Dustin Keller knocked down by Batrone right away. David Bowens putting on the pressure.
You got 2 guys in the backfield. You think the Jets get a little confused by the blitz of the Cleveland Browns. When you keep 2 backs in the backfield, you're expecting blitz. Bowens gets through. Late recognition by the Jets offensive line calls Sanchez to get rid of the football.
Nick Folk called on again, this time from 48. And the kick is wide right. The Browns will take over at the 38. The Hillis fumble Did not lead to any points. 3-3, 3 minutes to go, first quarter. CBSSports.com experts are providing the award-winning advice you need to finish strong in your fantasy football league. It's all at fantasynews.cbssports.com. Rob Ryan's defense does not bend. The Jets unable to produce anything after the turnover. The missed field goal gives the football back near the 39. It's an end around with Cripps. Watson out there in front of him, and he somersaults to the Jets 47. Stopped by Cromartie.
Well, you can't chase, and that's what the Jets do. Calvin Pace down the line of scrimmage. Who's outside? Nobody. And Cripps. Wow, that's dangerous. You mean too much to the football team. Don't take chances like that. But the Cleveland Browns keeping this Jets defense off balance, and I think you can see it at home. They're every bit the match for the Jets. The Jets not overpowering them or fooling them.
They picked up 14. They go back to Hillis. DeVito has hold of him at the 43. That fumble on the last drive was the 4th lost fumble of the season by Hillis. Had one week 1 against Tampa, week 5 against Atlanta.
Look at the guys that get around him because he can carry the pile. Look how many people here. Hands up.
Your point is a good one. There's a lot more of exposure for him to lose it.
That, and I really believe this too, Jim. We've heard it from players before and coaches. I think his arms are so big that he has a hard time too handling the football. How can you cradle up into your bicep and do that when they're, I'm serious, when they're that large? I think it hurts in securing the football sometimes.
I never had that problem. 2nd down and 6. McCoy is walloped. He got it away in time to the 35, and that is Stuckey with the catch.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
This will be a roughing.
Defense number 57. Illegal contact to the helmet. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
Bart Scott is the one flagged here.
Terry McAulay threw it quick, so there must be no doubt Sean Ellis gets through. No, it's Bart Scott. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong guy. The helmet does look like it goes high. But Colt McCoy, I thought when he was at Texas, the best thing he did as a quarterback, one of the best things, he's able to stay back with his weight under pressure and throw the football. And, boy, you talk about coming in handy. It does here in the pros.
Hillis is in the quarterback position.
Did this at Arkansas.
Yes, he did, and it's going to be a reverse. Massaquoi with a flag down. He is tackled at the 12.
Offense number 40. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So Hillis takes the snap and then later commits the holding penalty.
I was watching Peyton Hillis to see if he got the block because I thought it had a chance to get around the outside.
Well, you said it. He really, if you go back to the start of it, when the whole Wildcat thing exploded around the NFL, you could track it back to Arkansas, where he was in a backfield there with McFadden and Felix Jones, and he was the first guy ever in that formation. They called it the Wild Hog there in Arkansas.
Then he got hurt. Then it changed over to Darren McFadden. Peyton Hillis, you always have to be alert. Catches it, runs it well. And he was the quarterback in that situation because he throws it okay for a running back.
Now facing a 1st and 20 off the penalty. Straight drop back to Watson. Smith giving chase. Watson picking up a big chunk here, and he's within a couple of the first down. Gain of 18.
Well, here's what you want to do, Jim. We talked about it. Here goes Watson. He's against Eric Smith. Why go outside against 2 of the best corners in the NFL? How about that for a route? Make contact, get some separation, and then turn it into a foot race. The Browns, they have the idea, and they are executing it very well. Have they even thrown a pass outside against Darrelle Revis or Cromartie? I don't think so.
They have one completion to Stuckey as a wide receiver. Here's Hillis. He's wide open. Hillis is going to trot home for the touchdown. Boy, did Lawrence Vickers free him with a block. That one right there. Peyton Hillis His 9th touchdown of the year. And he gets the reprieve from the fumble on the previous possession. Dawson with the extra point. 16 seconds to go in the first quarter at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Hillis and the Browns go up 10-3 over New York. Saturday, get inside the legendary career of a larger-than-life American icon, the NFL's man in the hat, Tom Landry, presented by Courtyard. Mark it down next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern Time on CBS. That was a 14-yard touchdown run by Hillis, only the second running back to rush for a score against the Jets this year. They had a couple of quarterbacks run in for touchdowns, and Hillis and the Browns, this is what they do, Phil.
Hey, we've seen it in person now, and I think we've seen it right away. This is different. Jets haven't played somebody this physical.
Kick is angled. Smith fields it at the 5.
Great kickoff.
And with little room to squeeze through, out of bounds at the 25. See Marcus Bernard, he passed out at practice one day
There's no
this week.
foul on the play. First down.
He got all the battery attached. They said it was just exhaustion, so he's up today. This is after the missed field goal, after the Hillis fumble. His reaction to it. They took over at their own 38, and just a few plays later, listen to the hitting. You keep saying it.
Well, here's what's happening. The Browns are so physical. The Jets are putting all their work into making and sustaining the contact. Well, if you're working so hard to absorb the contact, how do you get off to make the tackle on a running back like Peyton Hillis?
From the 25, Sanchez flings it. Holmes has it at the 40. That was the rookie Hayden on the coverage. That's the end of the first quarter. Cleveland leads it after one, 10-3. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
There's nothing wrong with Ohio, except the snow and the rain.
Let's go prove it today.
I really like to I'd love to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So when you're done,
The second quarter about to get started. Buddy Ryan sitting up in the box today with his two boys dueling down there. Rob, the defensive coordinator of the Browns, his unit on the field right now. As Rex's New York Jets hand it off to Sean Green for a couple of yards. You know, had some fun visiting with the coaches. Of course, you saw the playful interaction this week at the press conferences, and Rex dressing up, trying to look like his brother, and then Rob having his own little take on it. Rex, what did he say? My dad's 100% behind the Jets this week.
That's right, 100%.
He's rooting for him.
He's an ex-Jets coach, and he's rooting for me because I'm the head coach. And what did Rob say?
Rob said, really, he's staying at my house. I can promise you it's the other way. Sanchez going for the big ball. It's over everyone's head. Eric Wright was down there defending. San Antonio Holmes was the Jet receiver down the field. You can imagine, though, what this must mean to Buddy.
Well, he's very proud of his sons. I'll never forget when Rob and Rex Ryan told me he took him in a hotel room one night and taught him about his famed 46 defense. And it's like we said in the open, they both were destined to be coaches. They love it. They like the interaction with the players, and the players react very well to that.
Third down for the Jets from the 42. Sanchez has Edwards, gets away from the hit, and Braylon is out of bounds at the 37. 21 on that play to Braylon Edwards.
Well, it's a good job. It's man coverage, and Braylon Edwards, top of your screen, coming down underneath, and you just wait long enough until he outruns Ray Patrone and gets it and gets those extra yards. We were up here watching the teams warm up, and we hear this booing and clapping and everything. What is that? Well, the fans were cheering that Braylon Edwards dropped the pass during warm-ups. I mean, it was wild.
His first warm-up throw and attempted a catch failed, and they already were on him. And that's Sean Green plowing ahead to the 30 for 7. Was Edwards the third pick by the Cleveland Browns 6 years ago, taken after Alex Smith and Ronnie Brown 1-2. Had that big season here, 16 touchdowns back in 07, blew out his ACL his rookie year. But Mangini came here. He didn't really fit in what Mangini's trying to build with a team-first attitude, and they traded him back to the Jets, or over to the Jets. They go back on the ground with Green, and that's near a first at the 27.
Now you think, well, we're seeing a little more Sean Green today so far than LaDainian Tomlinson. I think there's a couple factors. It's the team they're playing, the Cleveland Browns, very big on defense, not fast, so they can hold their ground. And this surface here in Cleveland, I would not call it the fastest field in the NFL, even though today it's in excellent shape.
Yeah, you checked it out. You thought all week it might be a concern. The Jets brought a bunch of different cleats to check out before the game. For the best footing. Jets have a first down at the 27. Sanchez goes screen, and it's well covered. What a tackle by Gokong. He slams down LT for a loss of 7. And Sean Rogers really forced that. He was in on Sanchez.
Yeah, Sean Rogers doesn't even start. Oh, it's just too quick. When you're an offensive lineman, the first thing you have to do is slow down the defensive lineman a little bit. Sanchez really fortunate he could see well enough to make this throw. But you have veteran linebackers for the Cleveland Browns. They can read blocking patterns. So screens, little trick plays, or different plays, they recognize and take them away from your offense.
Brad Smith again back at quarterback. Dropped it for a moment. Now trying to run an option. Cuts back middle to the 26 before Scott Fujita brings him down.
Brad Edwards. Brad Smith. How good. Misses it, trying to get the quick read so the football doesn't get to him. Like I said, strong, excellent runner in college. Breaks the tackles and just puts the Jets in field goal range and a makeable third down now.
Able to get 9 out of what for a moment looked like a botched play. The 16th snap in Cleveland territory. Coming here on 3rd and 8. Got an arm on Sanchez. He's able to get away, though, to the end zone. Touchdown, New York. Jericho Cotchery was left alone. 25-yard strike. Sanchez to Cotchery.
The Browns pick up people coming across. I think they want to throw it to Dustin Keller, but there's nowhere to throw it underneath. Against this Browns defense, I think the throws are down the field. They make mistakes. They've done it this year, and they made a big one that time against the Jets. Nice job. Sanchez moving, making the throw.
Nice recovery by the Jets after the 7-yard loss on the little pass to LT. Smith got 9. Next play, Sanchez gets 25. That's 7, and the game is 10-10. Wednesday on CBS. Winning this case will take a lot of patience, a little luck, and a touch of magic. Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller guest stars on the Defenders this Wednesday. This kick popped up into the air down to about the 18. Mike Bell decked at the 29. 11-yard run back. Hillis with the touchdown for the Browns. Into the pound. Same end zone. Jets come back to Cotchery to tie it at 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. We understand you need a winning game plan. FedEx. Wells Fargo Advisors. And by Acura. The most innovative thinking you'll find in an Acura.
Back here in Cleveland, and a good one. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and the Browns. Here's a little quarterback comparison. Sanchez and McCoy, who both were redshirted as freshmen back their school days, USC and Texas, both on the sidelines for that epic Rose Bowl game, national championship game back in 2006. Here's Hillis. And he is upended, but picks up. We'll give him 5. What happened on the Jets touchdown defensively for the Browns?
Here's what happened. Cotchery goes right down the middle. But watch the defense as they watch Sanchez come up in the pocket and move. and everybody loses sight of where they're supposed to be. So the fact that the quarterback moves made the defense stop. They reacted to him. Cotchery does a nice job. Sanchez, excellent job of keeping his eyes down the field as he's moving to throw it.
A 2nd and 5. And a second straight carry for Hillis. And it's Pace who brings him down. Picks up 6 and a first down.
Watch the blocks. Yates, the right guard. Pulls, boom. Vickers, the fullback, outside. Boom, down to the ground. And then Peyton Hillis, surprisingly, when you're watching, very nimble feet. You know, I shouldn't be surprised. He's just such a big guy and can get outside and make it happen.
Well, it's like what Mangini said to us on Friday. He makes you pay when you tackle him. You feel it when you wear him down as the game goes on. First down, McCoy falls at about the 46. That's a scramble of about 6. We've got an update out of New York. James Brown, over to you.
Jim and Phil, Bears take the lead over Minnesota on a 3rd and 14 as Jake Cutler drills this one over the middle to tight end Greg Olsen. 17-yard strike, 10 plays, 71 yards, 7-3 Chicago over Minnesota in the second. Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. That Bears team kind of a hard one to figure this year.
They are. They are. Everybody complaining about them and moaning about this and that, but the fact is they're 5-3.
Yep. You'd never know it. Make the mistakes, but they have won 5 of 8. Here's a screen to Hillis. Oh, and he breaks tackles again, making him pay. Never got brought down. All the way to the Jets 41. Woo. He got away from both Harris and Scott, the 2 guys that the coaches identified this should be their kind of game.
This is their type of game, and they said, I promise you, we will not get tired of hitting this guy. Well, I'm not going to say they're tired of hitting him, but they're not winning the battle.
Bounced off both of them.
And I remember when they played the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, Terrell Suggs didn't even know his name. They said Hillis. He goes, I never heard of the guy. When the game was over, he says, and you know, in a good way, he goes, I know who he is now, because defenders are finding out in this league, tough to bring him down.
Here is Thomas Clayton, his first carry of the season. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was on the Patriots roster, and he has stopped for no gain.
Couple things, as we said, the offensive line of the Browns, to me, the best unit on this whole team. Colt McCoy handling it very well and under basically no pressure, and it's the mixture of plays that has the Jets really just sitting there trying to react. They are not attacking, they're reacting. The Browns just dictating play when their offense is out there on the field.
Sean Laval is in for the Browns at left guard, rookie out of Arizona State. Now on 2nd and 10. That's Cribbs with room. Taken off at the 20. Cribbs at the 10. High stepping it down to the 5. 37 yards.
Just a blown assignment by the Jets. Look at it. Cribbs coming from your left, comes across the field. They're trying to make contact. Nobody follows. And if you're playing a zone, where's the person that's on that side of the field? Nobody there. Short crossers, again, throwing to the inside. Well, Cribbs loves to leave his feet when he sees contact coming.
Cribbs, though, has to be helped off. 37 yards. It goes, even though it's just a short toss, the longest pass play for McCoy. And Hillis dives. He's able to get 2 out of it. Down to the 3.
So we're seeing screen plays, bootlegs by Colt McCoy, and most of all, short little routes crossing the field. That's how you attack this Jets defense. Everybody is doing the same thing against them now. And to me, it is what Colt McCoy does best. When he was at Texas, he moved in the pocket. He let the receivers, if they weren't open, he gave them time. They crossed the field, he hit them.
He goes shotgun on 2nd and goal from the 3. Hillis comes out of the backfield. They switch it over to him. And that gives back 2 yards. Jets saw that one coming. Ihedibo came up to make the play.
I tell you what, first, it had no chance of succeeding because they were outnumbered. You could see it right away. And if they come back to it, the backside of the passing play, look at the Jets. Thomas, Leonard, linebackers, all there waiting for it. Wouldn't shock me to see that play again, see him fake that throw and throw it to his left.
Now 3rd and goal from the 5.
They're making the Jets play safe.
McCoy looking for anything, back of the end zone, incomplete. Right between a pair of receivers, both Watson and Moore.
Now, good coverage down the field, no pressure really on Colt McCoy again. They're using a 3-man rush. He just elects to go outside. He could have stepped up.
This will be a 23-yard field goal in the end.
Good job of passing it off on the Jet defenders.
Jets give up that 37-yard pass play to Cribbs, and they buckle down. Now hold them to a field goal. Dawson's 2nd of the day. Good from 23. 5 minutes and change to go first half. 13-10 Browns. Tonight on 60 Minutes, the first living soldier to earn the Medal of Honor since Vietnam. Plus, could the answer to our energy problems be right under our nose? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS. Bill Dawson's now made 26 straight field goals from inside the 40. In a game here, we have not had a punt so far. Deep kick forces the touchback. Well, Cribbs is going to limp to the locker room. 13-10 Cleveland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Best Buy. Get the best tech gifts this holiday from Best Buy. And by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate.
Browns report to us from the locker room. Foot injury to Cribbs, questionable to return. Jets will start this next drive at the 20, Phil. Down 13-10. There's 2 drives starting on the Cleveland side. The one from their own 24 led to the touchdown to Cotchery. Tomlinson, the running back. And LT. You know, these running backs, they never forget, do they? When they were taken, particularly the ones that are pretty high in the draft. LT was the 5th pick back in 2001, but the Browns passed over him. They took Gerard Warren with the 3rd pick. So, alas, he's had a lot of very big games against Cleveland, and he admitted to us this week he's always had a little edge because of that.
Of course, you know, you were slighted, and I understood a lot of players do that. They wanted to be drafted higher. LaDainian said it's great to come and play in the house of Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Good that he knows the history.
And he has another carry here out to the 29. Well, last year he passed Jim Brown to 8th all-time on the rush list right here at Jim Brown's house, and Brown was here to see it. He saluted him after he moved past him to number 8 on this field last December as a member, of course, of the Chargers.
And LaDainian really just reborn this year. You know, all Jet fans have heard it many times. It just goes back, just like he said, getting his legs back, getting powerful, doing different lifting, and it shows in his play with the Jets.
Rededicating himself to the weight room, he said. Once had a 200-yard rushing game on this field back in 03. A 3rd straight carry, and he is stacked up. Now let's see if they give him the spot.
Well, that spot, it just, you know,
it's good for the first.
There's no better system, but they run all the way across the field to try to put their foot down in one little spot. But it looks like he stopped initially. And that's a pretty good spot, right on the edge of that line. Pretty good job.
Thank you.
Plus, at the end, he falls.
That definitely got him past.
That got him past. By the way, he's moved up since moving past Brown on this field in December. He's now moved past Tony Dorsett to number 7, and he's closing in on number 6, which belongs to Eric Dickerson. Sanchez over the head of Keller. There is a flag in the secondary.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 99. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
But I told you what, Scott Fujita on Dustin Keller, they want to be aggressive off the line of scrimmage. Here he comes up the field. Pushes him, boy, just goes past the 5 yards, about 8 yards, pushes him in the back. That's enough to throw him off balance.
You got Brad Smith back in there, ready to take the snap. Sanchez wide to the right.
They got 2 defenders on 3 receivers. They're expecting run.
That's what it is with Smith straight ahead for about 4.
That's why I keep waiting for Brad Smith to throw the football. Cleveland is playing run all the way. Look what happens to the ball. 3 receivers, 2 defenders. They know the running. And then everybody's in a 3-point stance like they're getting ready to run a race. That's another giveaway that they're not going to get a pass thrown their way.
Did you like Sanchez in that foot race? If that was the case. He was ready to go. Back under center.
He's fast for a quarterback. But
2nd and 6. Down the field. That's going to produce a flag, no doubt. Santonio Holmes. Eric Wright's going to be the one that called for pass interference.
the change of pace by Santonio
Pass
Holmes.
interference, defense number 21. Automatic first down.
I think Santonio Holmes actually misjudges the football, and it results in getting this flag thrown. Watch as he sees the football thrown. Oh, you see the little hesitation? He stops. If he doesn't make that stop and keeps going and stands up, he might catch it, because that was an excellent throw by Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, it was that little stutter move that got Eric Wright concerned enough to put a hand on him, and it's a 27-yard penalty. Fujita is shaken up.
They are trying to get the football to Dustin Keller. The Browns are all over him when he comes up the field.
Sanchez get crushed.
Schaefer. Mark Sanchez. Fujita comes off the field. He can, I think he's just getting a little more dynamic as time goes along. And I love the way they're using him on the at quarterback, of course, in this offense. They run it, but when they're throwing it, they are going for the shots. Looking for big plays almost every time he drops back.
First down snap from the 34. Green with a little wiggle and down to the 25. Of course, Sanchez has the history with the Cleveland Browns because they had that 5th pick in the draft back in the spring of '09, and the Jets called them up and said, hey, we need to move up from 17 to 5. That's what they did. They gave up in all a first, a second, and 3 players, all of whom are on the Browns roster. 2-minute warning. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. James Brown will take you around the league with commentary, of course, from Dan Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher. All coming up, Sprint halftime report. Second and a short yard for the Jets at the 2-minute mark. They were awfully good last week at the end of the first half and into the fourth quarter.
They got Braylon Edwards.
That's Green getting outside, getting the edge, and getting the first down.
I thought they might check that time. Braylon Edwards was covered by Ward, the safety, and they were kind of by themselves. But it's not a bad choice to give it to Sean Green, too.
Again, the Jets running so many plays on the Cleveland side of the field. 18 of 26 snaps so far on the Browns into the field. First down from the 22, and it's Green. Nice little move to pick up about 4. Coleman on the tackle. Gain of 5. Jets have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, the fact that, Jim, you play it both ways here. It's great that you can run the football, but now you want to score, of course. But the other point is just don't give it back to the Cleveland Browns.
2nd and 5. Great protection. That's Green taking it down to the 5 and a 1st and goal to go.
Boy, excellent job. I'm not sure if Mark Sanchez was not going to throw it to Green the whole time. He just looked it off, let the defense expand, and then when he turns and throws it, he's wide open.
Green's made some nice plays on this drive. He's replaced right here by Tomlinson. 1st and goal from the 5. It's LT. LT down to the 1. Looks like he might be jammed at the line of scrimmage for a moment. Timeout by the Jets with 35 seconds to go in the half. A yard away from the end zone and the lead.
Let's watch LaDainian Tomlinson. Watch his feet. Look at the contact the offensive linemen have. They are on their guys, and the Brown defenders can't get off. And when you watch LaDainian Tomlinson this year, if there's 5 yards to be made on a play, he gets it every time. His choices of where to run the football have been extraordinary.
A lot of shifting around. LT wide to the right on 2nd and goal. Rolling out Sanchez in trouble. Throws it away. Over Tomlinson's head. David Bowens and Eric Barton were chasing after Sanchez.
I'm not sure who they were trying to throw it to. All the shifting, trying to get the defense to make a mistake. And I think they were trying to throw it to Dustin Keller, who either fell down or got knocked down right away. Look at 81. Oh, he just gets knocked down. Being physical again with him. Stopped the touchdown.
Another timeout called here by the Jets. Another chance to remind you that coming up, the Sprint Halftime Report with JB Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher. Take you around the league. Give you all the highlights of the early games, including Tennessee and Miami. They're tied, approaching the 2-minute mark. Houston and Jacksonville tangling, and the Colts got off to that 17-0 lead. The Bengals have fought back to 17-10.
I always thought this situation, very tough call. Of course, you can run the football, but down in the goal line, sometimes hard to get those 2 yards. What play do you have ready in your game plan for this situation?
Now there's Brian Schottenheimer, his dad, of course, the coach here in Cleveland back in the 80s.
And if you run it because you're thinking of, well, if it gets inside the 1, we'll go for it on 4th down.
Looking right into the dog pound. And now a timeout called by the Browns.
It's like an NBA game.
Yeah. Tonight on CBS, the kingpin of Lucky Strike Bowling goes undercover. You can't miss an all-new Undercover Boss. Only on CBS.
Look, you don't.
You got your big bowling tournament coming up in about a week, huh?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of pressure on you. You talk every year how you're going to win it, but you got a big Owen going. Over.
You got guys like Bob Wishney on this crew. It's kind of hard to beat, but you know, I just go out and put my 200 on the board and see how it holds up. Okay.
He's such a humble man. Man of the people. I think Monica Mendoza, this is the year for her. She's been trying to win it. She gets tight.
Let's see what happens here. 3rd and goal. Green in the backfield, spreading it out. The Jets. Sanchez look right, now runs, and he's in. Touchdown. Mark Sanchez, and the Jets take the lead with 23 seconds to go in the half.
I don't think that was planned. It's just he looked at the fade that Braylon Edwards didn't like it and took off. Oh, look at that. Chris Gokong in the middle reacted to Sanchez's eyes. Boy, Sanchez has had a couple really big plays just all on him. What a very good first half of Mark Sanchez.
(17-13) Jet lead. His 5th career rush touchdown, 2 weeks in a row now.
Look, he wants to throw that fade, says nope, pulls it down. The Cleveland Brown corners are being very aggressive. They're winning the physical battle outside a lot of times against the Jet receivers. But I think both of these teams, yeah, Rex Ryan, very excited. Of course, it's an emotional game for him for many, many reasons. But it even makes more with Eric Mangini and his brother on the other side. But both teams need to go in at halftime and say, we got to keep the quarterbacks more in the pocket. Mark Sanchez moved, Colt McCoy especially. The Jets, they talked about, well, we're going to keep him in the pocket. We got spies. I haven't seen anything. Whatever they're doing, it's not working.
Of course, you came into this game knowing that McCoy on the outside with the likes of Robisky and Stuckey and Massaquoi is not like when you're matching those receivers up against Revis and Cromartie. There's a whole lot you can do out there with that.
Yeah, well, just split them out and say, okay, they're gone.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Get them as far to the edge as you can. I think it's interesting. The Jets, they blitz Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. They can't even get close to the rookie quarterback.
Joe Hayden is back deep with Cribbs out with the foot injury. And here is Hayden. Hayden with a good piece of running. There's a flag that's going to bring this big gainer back. And that's one that might have cost him 3. They could have been a fling or 2 away from a possible Dawson distance.
Downwind, too.
During return, holding, receiving team number 93. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Would have been a 37-yard return for Hayden.
Right to your right of your screen.
Another former Jet, Jason Trusnick.
Yeah, he's got his arm outside. And now if you're the Cleveland Browns, take a knee. Just take a knee. 17 seconds.
Trusnick came over to Cleveland in the Braylon Edwards trade. He was a Mangini fine free agent out of Ohio Northern. Told him when he was with the Jets, come here, I'll give you a chance. Give you a chance, you work hard, you can make the roster. Ends up following Mangini over here to Cleveland. We had 9 total drives in the half by the teams. No punts. A Jet lead of 17-13 behind a Sanchez touchdown throw and touchdown run. New York 17, Cleveland 13. Back with the Sprint halftime report after this message. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back here in Cleveland, Ohio, with the Jets leading at 17-13. You see Cribbs has come back out for the second half, sitting on the Browns bench. We'll see if he'll return to action with that foot injury. And your thoughts on that first half?
There's nothing to complain about. I think the only thing on both sides, both defenses are going to hope to get more pressure on the quarterback, but it's been very well played. A lot of good hitting, and I'm impressed. Both quarterbacks have done very well.
All right, Phil, let's take a look at the All-State points of protection. See what you see here. Like, protect your possession. No punts.
No punts.
Protect your quarterback.
No sacks.
And third down by the Jets. Both of their touchdowns coming on third down plays. The 25-yard pass to Cotchery, and then Sanchez, the keep, officially from a yard out. Of course, the Jets won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. So they are going to be getting it here to begin the third quarter with Brad Smith standing at about the 4-yard line. Brad, who grew up in nearby Youngstown, Ohio. Mike Westhoff, special team since he came here in 01 to the Jets. 12 kick returns for touchdowns, most in the league. This one's short. An early handle here. As Dwight Lowry to about the 35. Spotlight by you, Phil. What did you see on this touchdown by Sanchez?
Well, look at the blocking up front. The fact that it was a pass. The Browns defenders rushing, not even thinking about the run once they saw Mark Sanchez drop back and take his eyes to the right. So doing something with a broken play.
A couple of impressive drives directed by Sanchez there in that second quarter. long drives for touchdowns. Fajita is not in the game right now. Bowens is. They run it to his side, and that's a quick stack up by Bowens and others. Tomlinson for no gain. Sanchez's numbers, well, he had 9 completions to 7 different receivers. Hillis 10 for 60 and a touchdown. Also caught 3 balls. The Jets, who have a perfect 4-0 record on the road this year. In fact, they've won their last 7 regular season road games. Got a 2nd and 10 here. Fake to Tomlinson. And Sanchez with a flag thrown. Going to have a hold call against the Jets, negating the 5-yard scramble by Sanchez.
Holding, offense number 60. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Goes against the Brickashaw Ferguson.
Might be just because he had to hold his rusher so long. And then Mark Sanchez, when he moves out of the pocket, left tackle, number 60, top of your screen. Boy, good job by the Brickashaw Ferguson. There it is, once Sanchez moved. And
you're hearing Fajita is questionable to return because of a knee injury suffered late in that first half. 2nd down and 20. Open lane, and it's Braylon Edwards. Boy, he had all kinds of separation, and the Jets pick up the 1st down.
Mark Sanchez is just, he's striping it when he throws the football today. They got a safe defense on. It should stop this, but Braylon Edwards, you've got to honor his speed on the outside. And when you watch this Jet offense, the difference between them and the Browns, the Jets are trying to make the big plays in the air. In other words, the ball's traveling far down the field. The Cleveland Browns are throwing it short, trying to catch and run with it.
3 catches, 49 yards for Braylon Edwards. Anytime the football's anywhere near him, they greet him with a chorus of boos, and that's under center with Smith. And the Wildcat doesn't produce a whole lot this time. Tomlinson, a rush of 3.
I don't know this answer. I'm just saying we are going to have a big key breaker with Brad Smith in there today. They got to give us a new wrinkle. He's going to fake it, throw it.
This is all part of the deception. Is that what you see?
Oh, absolutely. And when you have packages like that, Jim, where you have specialty players come in and you got a group of plays, every week they kind of add one to it. Hey, here's something we haven't shown yet. Not that you're going to run it, but it's there and ready. And I believe the Jets have one ready.
2nd and 6, we'll call it. Sanchez. Oh, he got hit when he threw it. Ball wobbles through the air and falls without an issue at the 29. That was Matt Roth. Got a hand in there as Sanchez was ready to uncork a long one.
Well, you said it again, trying to go deep down the field, number 53, Matt Roth. The coverage was so good, he got up off the ground to get it done. They had Braylon Edwards really deep, but it just took so long, and Matt Roth had a chance to get that fumble.
All right, here you go, Phil. Back to Brad Smith and the Wildcat on 3rd down. It's a running play up the middle, and it's good for the 1st. Sean Green to the Cleveland 40. Gain of 10.
That was a nice change-up. I've seen him do it before, but on 3rd and 5, you just don't expect that. It catches your defense by surprise. You're in there ready to stop the pass. Look at the area to run in on the inside. I mean, Nick Mangold, he's running down there, can't even find a guy to block.
1st down from the 40.
How about that move?
Yeah, Tomlinson picks up 6, maybe 7.
I tell you, as the year goes along, I think he's getting better.
Yep.
You kind of expect him to maybe tire out. Slauson, Ferguson just gets thrown to the ground, but it doesn't matter. LaDainian Tomlinson, he makes a miss completely.
Running low. Running hard. Back to basics, he told us. rededicating himself to a lot of lower body workouts. He's looking strong. 2nd down and 3. Tomlinson again. He stopped short of the first, about a yard short.
Well, you know, when you talk about football, Jim, it really is always the basics. You know, we talk about, oh, this scheme, look at this play and all that. And I'll never forget one time I heard Mike Ditka say, you know, no matter what, sooner or later you got to punch the other guy in the face. And it's so true. And we got two teams that believe in that philosophy, and they do it well, and it simplifies everything. You can't be all fancy on defense because you're too worried about getting run over.
3rd and a long yard. And Green is the tailback. Green's got the first. Picks up 3. Jets with touchdown drives, Phil, the last 2 possessions. And they started in their own territory, and they did just what they're doing right here. Kept it for a long time and led to the end zone.
It just shows you Rob Ryan over there looking. Last week, the Cleveland Browns basically were standing up on defense, walking around, because they were not worried about the New England Patriots pounding the football at them. But you don't see them walking around trying to be clever this week. They're getting down in their stance. They get ready, because here it comes again.
Sanchez down the sideline, and little shove by Tomlinson on the defender, Joe Hayden, who looked like he might have a play on the pick. But Tomlinson didn't touch him until the ball had already grazed the fingertips of Hayden.
Little late blitz by the Browns. Again, Sanchez doing an excellent job. When in trouble, he is getting rid of the football.
Second and 10 from the 30. Going back for the same play. It's Edwards, and it's over his head. Airtight coverage by Hayden.
It's tremendous coverage down the field. I wish we had one of those clickers on the football, because Mark Sanchez, the Jets are airing it out. And Braylon Edwards probably would have been better served to go to the inside, and Sanchez could have rifled it in there.
You just know how much Edwards wants 6 today. And how much this group right here, these fans,
got to hustle up, play clock.
Don't want any part of that. 3rd and 10. Jets have been great on 3rd down today. 7 of 9. Including some long conversions. And this one's going to be spotted about a yard short of the first. Hayden rides him down after a gain of 9.
Boy, again, protection for Mark Sanchez does an excellent job. It's a 3-man rush. He doesn't feel the pressure, so he waits, and it gets him close to the first down.
Well, they're going to go for it here, Phil. 4th and a yard. Green is the tailback. Green over the top.
He got it.
He has the first down.
Man, I tell you. My ball. If I was going to jump, I definitely would have had number 21 do it. That's one of his specialties. But a good job. Nick Mangold, the center. Wow, what a collision inside by all of them. Yeah, right away you can see now Judge, he's got it. One of the reasons why he didn't get up, he was grabbed as he was trying to jump in the air.
Smith at quarterback, first down. Smith again keeps it up the middle. Down to the 13. We're seeing a lot of this, Phil.
Yeah, we are. I think it was going to be the other way around. I think the Jets thought that they were going to see more of this when Cleveland had the ball from Cribbs.
Of course, Cribbs went out with an injury there mid-second quarter. They had the football for half the quarter. Really, those last 5 minutes of the first half, the only play that Cleveland ran was a virtual kneel down. Second down. Holmes over his head.
Yeah, he had him. They've been going down the field, outside throws, and all of a sudden, this time Santonio Holmes comes to the inside, but the football gets away just a little bit from Mark Sanchez. That's why it's high and to the inside.
Another third down situation. Third, and it's closer to 4. Steps up, waits, takes off, no. Straddles the line, flings it to Green, who's bounced back, and that still produces a first down. Another third down conversion by New York. Gain of 8.
Got to keep the quarterback in the pocket, pressure it, get back so you're getting around his feet and in his face. Look, nobody open. He's going to run it, and then he decides, ball's in his left hand, I'm not going to make it. So he reloads, and what a throw on the run to Sean Green.
Grant Smith to the right. Contrary to the left. Keller will shift over to that right side on 1st and goal to go.
That's a penalty. Penalty, you got to get...
Start offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, not only that, they never got set. They did a little shift. And even if the Brickashaw Ferguson didn't have a false start, it was still going to be called. And you know, you go back to that, to a couple plays earlier, Jim. On 4th down, the Jets doing so much and dominating the line of scrimmage so well, they didn't hesitate when it was 4th and a little less than 1 yard.
1st and goal now from outside the 11. Green trying to slice through there, bounces back and loses yardage. That's a loss of 2. How about the length of this drive, time-wise?
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's been everything. The throws and just overcoming the holding penalty because of the terrific throw by Sanchez outside to Braylon Edwards, but picking up the 3rd downs, then going for it on 4th down and getting it.
Edwards will go wide to the left. Eric Wright on him.
Expecting blitz, 2 guys in the backfield. Now you see the Browns standing up, trying to confuse the Jets blocking.
2nd and goal from about the 15. There's the pass at the 7, down to the 6. Holmes. Elam drops him there.
3-man rush all day, big throwing lanes for Mark Sanchez. Let me just state this. I've said it many times to you. I hate the 3-man rush. Because when you're playing a veteran quarterback, they sense it right away, know it. They're willing to hold the ball longer, and defenses always break down if you make them stand over there long enough. They will find the throwing lanes.
3rd and goal, New York at the 6.
They were hoping to get a pick.
Sanchez batted down by Ward, incomplete. Trying to hit Keller in the end zone. After all that, over 10 minutes, the Jets will try to produce 3.
Well, they probably knew they were in trouble right away. Keller coming out there, going back underneath. He went back and forth behind the line of scrimmage. Nobody was really following him. They were trying to create, some traffic so he could get open. It did not work. Good job by the Browns.
Tanner Purdom, the Jets' first long snapper since James Girth had the role from 01 all the way to this year, will send it back to Weatherford. It's just 24 yards. Polk. And the kick. No good. Minutes and 4 seconds with the football. And the Jets unable to put anything on the board. Well, Falk hits the upright. And it looked like it might have been able to somehow still stick through.
The tip of the football, the nose, hit the upright. That's what drove it back into the inside instead of letting it skip through.
That was a 19-play drive, which ties the longest drive by plays in the league this year. And again, it does not lead to anything.
Well, let's watch it. Watch how as he kicks the football, he kind of falls back and he's up. And the nose of that football hits the inside. It doesn't skip through. It comes back. But, you know, always look at kickers. Of course, I never kicked in my life, but it's so much it reminds me of golf. If you don't get through it, it's going to go to the right. And that time, that's what happened. And what an emotional lift for the Cleveland Browns to be physically dominated and give up nothing.
So after a Hillis carry of 2, it's a 2nd and 8 and a fake to Hillis. Pass to him, almost pulls it in one-handed, still would not have gained any yardage. The new NFL.com mobile apps are here, and no matter where you are, you can stay in the game all season long. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Nick Folk is changing shoes. He's changing the plant foot. McCoy now on a 3rd and 8.
Let's look by the Jets.
Real time, he has not completed a pass in 57 minutes. They're coming after him. Give and chase, no one there. Not a Brown in sight. 3 and out for Cleveland. This will be our first punt of the day for either side.
I know he gets outside, but it's still different this time for the Jets. They have the 5 people inside. You can see the edges. So when he breaks out, there's nowhere for him to go. David Harris, they've got the edge, so he has to throw it away.
Reggie Hodges comes in. He was formerly, of course, the Jets punter back in 08 for Mangini in New York. He was replaced by Weatherford, the Jets punter of today. Hodges earns a fair catch by Leonard. 39-yard punt, and the Jets will take over at the 39, up 17-13.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart. And by the new 2011 Ford F-150. Built Ford tough.
Again, that 19-play drive by the Jets matching the longest in the league this year. And that Browns defense, not much of a rest. The offense unable to stay out there for only 3 plays.
Let's see if it shows.
Back to Tomlinson.
All the way down.
To Sanchez. He was looking for Edwards. And he steps out of bounds at the 42.
It took so long that Santonio Holmes was definitely by his guy on the outside, but Mark Sanchez would probably have to throw it about 80 yards. See Santonio Holmes, top of your screen. He was flying. But Sanchez, I think that was a very good job of pulling it down.
Watch Edwards for a moment, too. He was open.
Well, that was the initial read, to try to throw it right down the middle of the field to him.
Ends up being a 3-yard gain on the Sanchez run. 2nd and on 7. End around. Smith. A good gainer to the Cleveland side at the 42.
Well, you know what they're doing? They got the team tired, so now they did a flea flicker or a trick play and a reverse.
Back-to-back plays. That does tell you they're trying to take advantage of that.
Good strategy.
Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS rolls with the Rebels of Ole Miss battling the Bayou Bengals of LSU. It all begins with the TIAA Prep College Football Today. That's next Saturday here on CBS. First down, Jets, Cleveland 42-yard line. End around to Smith, was good for 16. LT. He spins for about 2. That last drive included a 4th down conversion, but down near the goal line, they had to try the 24-yarder. Ball hit the right upright.
Yep, long drive, a lot of plays, picking up 3rd down, picking up 4th. And nothing. A lot of good numbers, but no points.
Second miss of the day for Falk, who missed from 48 in the first quarter. It's a 2nd down and 8. 32 of the last 36 plays been run by the Jets. Sanchez avoids the sack and tried to throw that over to Dustin Keller. And that was Bowens honing in on the quarterback.
Yeah, doing a good job. Mark Sanchez has been terrific getting away from pressure today. And the fact that his style of throwing will every once in a while make him overthrow because he really stretches out. His front foot gets out in front of him. So it makes him get under just a little bit. That's why it goes high every once in a while.
Holmes to the right, Edwards to the left on 3rd and 8. Sanchez, not this time. He's not going to escape the pressure. Getting to him was Mike Adams.
Mike Adams, number 20, has been on Dustin Keller a lot today, coming from the outside. They don't have the numbers. The offensive line misses it.
Weatherford's first punt of the day. It's going to be coming down to Stuckey. Got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Fair catch by Stuckey, who has to be called in to return the punts with Cribbs out.
Offense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the play. First down, timeout.
5 yards brings the football to the 19. Sanchez getting a little attention on the sideline. Look at his leg here. That right leg buckled a bit. We'll be right back to Cleveland. The Jets are examining that right knee of Mark Sanchez laying down behind the bench. Meanwhile, the Browns had their second series of the second half with only 1:24 to go in the third. To Hillis. Bounces out of bounds for a first down at the 30. That's the Browns' first down since 7.5 minutes were on the clock in the second quarter. What happened on the Sanchez?
Well, watch his right knee. He gets it caught underneath him. Oh, it's hard in his ankle, and then all the pressure went to his knee.
And Sean Rogers then fell on it.
Well, he's going to try to walk it off. There's no question about that. You can tell.
The Browns move the chains for the first time since the midway point of the second quarter. Look at DeVito stacking up Peyton Hillis. It's the best tackle of the day by a Jet on Hillis.
Yeah, you know, when you talk about this Jets defense, Sean Ellis, Sione Bauha, and Mike DeVito, they truly do all the dirty work, and they line it up for the linebackers to make all the plays. That's how the defense has been built. They take on blockers, hard to move them, and they're the biggest reason why it's hard to run the football on this Jets defense.
When we talked to Rex Ryan this week, we said, what about this game? First thing he said is, we got to slap Peyton Hillis around a little bit. He's running roughshod over this league.
Yeah, good luck.
Got another chance at him right here, and they do hold on to him. After about the 28, helmet comes off. And that'll close out the third quarter. Boy, it moved quickly with that one drive by the Jets. No points produced on either side. Going to the fourth. New York leads it. Mark Brunell is warming up.
Yeah, I saw Matt Cavanaugh, the quarterback coach, just walk over and talk to him. So this might be getting a little more serious. We're just trying to read the body language. Of course, that's what we're doing, trying to read the body language of Mark Sanchez and all the people around him. Really be able to come back.
A 3rd and long to start the final quarter. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Need to get to the 40 for the first. They're coming after McCoy. They got him. That's Ihedibo on the sack.
Well, when I talked to Colt McCoy, and we did, Jim, on Friday, he said his first look at this Jets defense, he goes, are you kidding me? Because he just couldn't believe what he was seeing. Because they do so much stuff, and you can't sometimes figure out where the blitz is coming from. That time, the Jets had pressure from both outside guys, and it was tough for Cleveland to pick up.
Said I popped the cassette in there. I looked at it and said, are you kidding me? They're coming from everywhere.
But their running game and their offense has slowed them down so far today. Still did.
Hodges with the punt, and it's a good one. It's going to be Kyle Wilson, the rookie, on the return. Up the middle, and he tripped. At the 46, guess what? Mark Sanchez has the helmet on.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. And by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL.
So Sanchez is in. He's under center at the 46. With Green is running back. Oh, and he's limping just to get the handoff. And he signaled over the sideline.
Yeah, I think he'll get in the flow. You have to get out there, Jim, and figure out what you can do. So it's a little feeling out process for him as he's trying to work with his knee.
That was a struggle just to get the handoff.
Well, you got to protect yourself a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty rough stuff.
Thought it was Billy Kilmer for a moment.
That's a really good call by Brian Schottenheimer. Bring in Brad Smith.
Brad Smith now comes in.
See if it's quarterback draw again.
It's Green. Only to the 49. You wonder about Sanchez. Now you got a passing down coming up. Can he drop back? Is he going to be able to plant and throw?
Well, the big thing is, the good thing for him is it will be in the shotgun, so that's going to help.
But to throw it, you got to power it off that right leg, you think.
No question. The power, the force when you're a right-handed thrower, inside of your right knee, the inside of your right foot.
Need to get to the Cleveland, 44 for a first. Here they come. Escapes the hit. Sidesteps, now in trouble, and he's going to duck as he should.
Well, that was a good job. If he's healthy, that could have been a big play. LaDainian Tomlinson picks up the blitz, short side. Here comes Eric Wright. Look at the last second. Boy, that is terrific. Now he can reset and throw it down the football field, but he knows his physical well-being can't get it done.
Weatherford back out with Stuckey, the returner. Weatherford has earned more fair catches than any punter in the league this year. And that one bounces out of bounds inside the 20. No scoring here in the second half. 17-13, Jets lead it in the fourth. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms back here in Cleveland. It's been a long time since we've seen this Browns offense do much of anything since that pass to Cribbs in the second. It went for 37 yards. Cribbs injured on the play and has not returned. Fake to Hillis, and again they've got McCoy. Yeah, a sack. That's Calvin Pace.
One of the things I hate, well, I don't hate, that's a strong word, but you get tired of hearing, oh, halftime adjustments by the coaches. Well, you know what? Sometimes it is true. The Jets, look what they're doing. They're just engulfing the pocket, Jim. They're surrounding so he can't escape. And their coverage down the field is exceptional. And now there's nowhere for Colt McCoy to run.
Second sack of the game by the Jets. Cleveland in this half has not gotten past its own 30.
Well, look at well, I will say this too. Well, I'll just say this. The Cleveland Browns kind of going on what Mark Sanchez said to you about being a quarterback. Live to play another play.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing in the game. They're not taking chances on the defensive side. They're being smart on offense, and they're waiting. Just keep waiting that somebody can make that one play that can win the game for them.
And their defense has been resilient in this half.
Absolutely.
Offense has been non-existent. It's a 3rd and 6. 2 catches all day long by Cleveland wide receivers.
There they go again, surrounding the offensive line.
3rd and 6. By an open man. It's Stuckey, and he's brought down. Good tackle That was Kyle Wilson preventing the first down, a yard short.
Yeah, Kyle Wilson back in the lineup, almost got in trouble, got picked as they moved the receivers around, but look at the recovery by him. Fights his way through and then makes the tackle. That's what it's all about. When you're a blitzing team, if the guy catches it, be close enough to take him to the ground immediately.
Wilson had an 18-yard punt return the last time off a 50-yard Hodges boot. We've got Leonard also as a returner. So 10 yards ahead of Wilson. And bounces out at the 38. 40-yard punt. Sanchez going to stay in there. This board is on the sideline of the Jets. Start fast, set edges, knock them back, trick plays, sack quarterback, which they've done twice in the half. Win, win, win. Yeah, we had no punts in that first half. 5 in the second half. As Sanchez drops back and hits Richardson. He's got first down yardage to the Cleveland 49. And by the way, next week on CBS, we bring you one of the most anticipated games of the year. The Colts and the Patriots. They renew that rivalry from Foxborough. We'll have it for you next Sunday on CBS.
That was a nice key breaker by the Jets. Browns playing the run. Sending the extra guy up there to stop it. That's why Richardson was wide open.
Tomlinson gets the call this time. Scored for about 3.
Now the New York Jets, we talk about their team. Listen, they're built to take a situation like this and win the game. That's what they've built their team to do. We can stop them on defense. Let's get a lead. Let's run it and end it. So here's the perfect scenario for them.
Rob Ryan's defense not giving up anything in this half as far as points, and that unit has been out there most of the way since halftime.
They play a lot of guys. That helps, Jim.
But they have lost 2 guys today, too. All kinds of time, stepping away, backpedaling, signaling, and finding Tomlinson. Brought down by Bowens at the 41. Again, they were without Fajita, one of the big playmakers on defense, and Sheldon Brown, both out with injury.
The coverage down the field is terrific. Braylon Santonio Holmes covered on the outside. Dustin Keller was covered over the middle. Here's Braylon Edwards on the other side. Nope, not going to throw that across the field. But what a job by Sanchez.
3rd and 2. They go with Green off left tackle. And the forward progress will be enough for the first.
Well, when you got a good offensive line, they're tough. They're very good running the football. You get a big running back. Hard to stop them. They've done really a very good job today of making the contact, and the Brown defenders cannot get off the blocks fast enough. Wow.
Green
that
with
time, Robert Turner, Sean Rogers couldn't get away from him, Jim.
Green with 14 carries, Tomlinson with 13. Goes down from the 39, fake to Green. Pass, he's hit when he throws it. That was Gokong on the quarterback.
Again, going down the field, they got the receiver open. But Chris Gokong is able to get in there and knock it out of his hand before he can throw it.
You know, the Jets are telling us it's a calf injury for Sanchez. We're going to have Brad Smith at quarterback. He's been waiting after 3 quarters of deception for them to do something off of this. Let's see. 2nd down and 10. They run the option. Oh, and there's a flag. Several. It's coming back. And Smith's big run down to the 13 will be wiped off the board.
Offense number 17. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And the crowd will react with delight because it's against Braylon.
Hey, Brad Smith, what a day he's having with the football in his hand. The quarterback draws, the give and go, now just a speed option. 17, Braylon Edwards. There it is from behind. Oh boy, I didn't see it the first time. That is easy.
Stone hands this city with Braylon returning today, getting a little warm-up act before LeBron comes back December the 2nd. Chance today to express how they really feel. Second down screen, and it's to Tomlinson. Blockers in front to the 36. I will see you Wednesday night, my friend.
You will.
I will see you Wednesday on Showtime. JB, Chris, Warren. At least you're smiling here.
Yeah, I'm not a tough guy.
You've lost the attitude.
Yeah.
Inside the NFL Showtime Wednesday on CBS.
I thought you were talking about
on
like
Showtime.
You were coming over to my house for dinner. I didn't invite you.
No, I'm going to see you Tuesday night, though.
Oh, for dinner. That's
yep,
right.
at the Oyster Bar for our Alzheimer's fundraiser. Thank you very much. Third down for the Jets from the 36. The pass caught, and that's Cotchery at the 27 and a first down.
They put Cotchery in motion, just an excellent job. And what happens, it makes the defensive back, it's Joe Hayden. It can't square up, cannot get contact, and a perfect throw to the outside by Mark Sanchez. What a job. That calf bothered him. Hanging in there, and he felt it out last drive, and he's got a feel for it now. Has moved around, and when the receiver's open, he's right on target.
Less than 6 minutes to go. Been out there so long. The Jets offense, Cleveland's produced only one first down and a half. Sean Green to the 23.
Well, I did notice the Cleveland Browns this drive. They have blitzed more probably this drive than they have the whole game. You know, two reasons. One, possessions are limited, but also, hey, come on, Rob Ryan goes, the quarterback's hurt. Let's get to him.
Can Rob Ryan's defense stop him again deep?
They're taking the play clock every time deep, too.
Yep, all the way now down to 5 minutes on the game clock. Second down and 6. And that's a catch by Edwards. Picks up 10 and a first.
Man, another good job. Good drop, good set. You and I were talking during commercial, Jim. Let's see if he can drive off his right foot, Mark Sanchez, and make the throw. Here's the answer. Good plant by the right leg. And throws it safe, outside, low, perfect.
See the push-off you were looking for off the right leg?
Shoot, another perfect spot. Mark Sanchez throwing the ball about as well as I've ever seen him throw it.
Edwards out of the game. Smith in motion. It's Tomlinson to the 13. Can Cleveland hold them to only a field goal here and keep it a one-possession game? Approaching the 4-minute mark. And a reminder that after the game, the Subway post-game show with JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher. Recap of the 1 o'clock games. It's coming up. We'll send it to the studio after this one ends.
Cleveland, the Jets are already in field goal range. So I think now what you do on defense, you just do whatever it takes to make sure they don't score. In other words, play safe. Don't gamble, blitz, and give up an easy touchdown here. Make them earn it. You still have all 3 timeouts.
Second and 9, and it's Green. We'll have a third down play coming up, third and about 3. No timeouts have been used on either side so far. This is a drive over 7 minutes.
Brian Schottenheimer's had some extensive third down package here today, and so many of the plays have worked well. Jets expecting blitz. Looks like they're going to get it.
Sanchez from the gun on 3rd and 3. Flings it. Intercepted for a moment and then dropped. Oh, that was Abram Elam who made the play in that same territory inside the 10 last week. Last week it was a strip to create a fumble and a recovery. Almost got another takeaway at a crucial moment this time.
Oh, that's what happens. Abram Elam started to go outside. Mark Sanchez saw it. He determined he was going to throw it inside, but Elam stops and comes back.
Brian knows that should have been going back the other way. Instead, Falk, who has missed twice today. This one from 25. And this one good. Weatherford did a good job getting down a little bit of an inside snap, and it's a 7-point lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sony and Sony Internet TV. Television and internet together at last. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Toyota.
Well, this drive lasted almost 8 minutes. It ends up with a field goal from 25 out. And there's Hayden, the returner with Cribbs, not returning to this game since suffering a foot injury mid-second. Comes up to the 9 to get it. Gets away from the first hit. Here goes Hayden. Hayden out of bounds at the 41. Tell you what, pretty impressive fill-in right there for Cribbs. 32-yard return, ball at the 41. Back here with 2:36 to go.
Do the Browns have anything in that offensive playbook they have not shown the Jets yet?
They have managed a total of 14 yards total offense in the second half. Kinds of time for McCoy. Ellis homes in on him, and the pass incomplete. Massaquoi had it near midfield. Next Sunday on CBS, the NFL on CBS, a doubleheader day. Early, many will see Houston against the Jets. And again, the blockbuster doubleheader game. Peyton Manning and the Colts, Tom Brady and the Patriots, all beginning next Sunday on CBS with the NFL Today at 12 noon Eastern time. A 2nd down and 10 with a shotgun for McCoy. Works the middle, has the completion at the 50. Benjamin Watson. Going to go a little hurry up here, 3rd and 1. Hillis, by the way, on the year is 7 for 7 on 3rd and 1s, but they'll go sneak. Spot's going to be close. Clock comes down to the 2-minute mark. All right, 2-minute warning. Looks like they'll measure for this one. We'll be right back. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Look at this little nugget. Not scored in the last 2 minutes of the 4th quarter in the last 10 games. You got a rookie quarterback going against a much ballyhooed defense of Rex Ryan.
Yep.
And you need 7 to tie it.
The Jets put their speed defense in there. One defensive lineman.
While we were away, they measured. They had picked up the first by the length of a football. Pass was wide of Watson. So tell us about this defense the Jets are going to employ here.
Well, I think that's why they did it, because it can be more versatile. They can do more, show some blitzes that Cleveland is not ready for. The Jets defense better hustle up.
Boy has all 3 timeouts, 1:57 on the clock. Steps up, he could run with it. Instead throws, and he has another first down with Watson.
See, that's what happens on a 3-man rush. You know, if unless you stand there, you let the quarterback move forward, he's going to find somebody to throw the football to or run.
They split Evan Moore wide to the right, back up tight end. That pass was dangerous in the area of Stuckey. Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Power. Take you around the league, the recaps of the 1 o'clock game. Maybe a little bonus look at some that are running late. This one's a speedy game. This is like your old Giants game. Guys, will be done about 3:30, 3:40.
Well, that time, Colt McCoy off target because he's been throwing those crossers quick today. But now it's zone, only a 3-man rush. Doesn't have to get rid of it so fast. This looks like a different look.
Second down from the 39. Lobs it down the sideline, and that's over the head of Evan Moore, who once again, the tight end who they split wide to the right. It was Revis on the coverage. We haven't had a chance to talk about Revis today. It's been what you thought it might be, like a day where you wouldn't even see him.
I believe it's the first time he has seen a pass thrown his way. And if you're going to do it, don't put Evan Moore on him.
Now third down coming up. And again, one of the big offensive threats that one of the few that Cleveland has, Joshua Cribbs, has been out since the second quarter. Timeout called by the Jets. 3rd and 10 coming up out of the break. New York leads it by 7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Kayak.com. Search one and done.
I don't know who the Cleveland go-to receiver is. I mean, Watson's his favorite target. But what are you going to do here? 3rd and 10 with 1:30 to go.
Well, the last time Sean Ellis was the only defensive lineman in the game, they blitzed. So sooner or later, when it comes to the moment of truth, you go to what you are. The Jets are a blitzing defense.
They line up Jason Taylor as a down lineman, too. In the 3-point stance. McCoy plants the feet, fires it, and the ball is caught. What a catch at the 21. In traffic, Benjamin Watson for 17 and a first. He had 2 Jet defenders draped all over him, including Eric Smith.
Still plenty of time. No use to rush.
McCoy, pass, caught on Revis. That is Evan Moore, the tight end. Again, they had him lined up wide to the right. Makes the 18-yard reception. 1st and goal to go. Timeout called by the Browns. Well, not a matchup that you would expect would go your way if you're a Cleveland fan.
Well, it's strictly this, Jim. It's 2 tight ends that just overpower the opposition. Little double move down the field. Oh, my gosh, the Jets, Eric Smith in perfect position. Not able to pull it away from Watson. And then Moore gets inside, and just because he's strong, look at it. His hands are up in the air and can pull it down before Revis can strip it away.
We're talking about a 6'6" target right here. Evan Moore, his first reception as he battles Revis for it, and he wins the battle. 1st and goal to go with 48 seconds.
Well, they're going to play everybody inside, so that way they can rush the passer and stop the run just in case.
Well, you got Hillis. They get you those tough yards. They're going to go up top. They throw it. The ball is caught. Touchdown. Cleveland can tie it with the extra point. Massaquoi with the 3-yard touchdown grab.
All day long, Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie, it's outside. Nobody's challenged them. And the game-winning drive, what do? The receivers go in, and they make the catches and tie the game.
All right, now the must, the extra point. Hodges on the hold. Dawson. Through the right side, it's good. 44 seconds to go. 20-20.
Massaquoi to the outside. Let's see the fake. Oh, that's what it was. It was a little bit of a rub. He has to go underneath Antonio Cromartie since he was playing off not able to react fast enough and get there. Well-designed play. Plus the little fake that Peyton Hillis kept the inside defenders from getting out underneath the quick throw by Colt McCoy.
Massaqua's first catch of the game leads to a tie at 20, and maybe the Jets, of course, they got plenty of time here and 2 timeouts to do something to get Falk in range, but maybe they're going to an overtime for the second straight week, tied 20-20, prevailing last week at Detroit with the first possession win and a big hookup from Sanchez to Santonio Holmes.
Started out, good return, but really just 2 excellent throws by Colt McCoy. 3 throws in a row, right on target and good catches.
The kick by Dawson. Sends it to Smith a yard deep. He's dangerous. And he's able to get free out to the 30. They had him jammed at about the 15. So a 31-yard return. Joe Hayden on the stop. Hillis found the end zone in the first quarter. Sanchez to Cotry. This one gave him the lead. The run by Sanchez before halftime. Then a 10-minute drive with the field goal bouncing off the upright. And the game tire from McCoy to Massaquoi. 2 timeouts and 35 seconds. Braylon Edwards wide to the right. Passes.
Was off the mark that time. Matt Roth had to throw around the hands of the defender when he did that. Made the throw go too wide. But more than anything, Jim, just you got to be super conservative in your decision making as a quarterback here.
They go run on the ground with LT to the 35 for 5. Not in any apparent hurry here.
Yeah, this is the right decision. Just let it go into overtime.
Why, with possession in about 30 seconds, would you settle for a coin flip to maybe decide it?
Because if they go for it, then they might, if they don't get it, they're worried about the punt block, a return. So to me, this is the safer way to go, especially with a quarterback that is not 100%.
So not only are the Jets going to an overtime, tied at 20 for the second straight week, but one of the epic games ever between the Browns and the Jets was an 86 divisional playoff game that went to double overtime, tied at 20. The same score, remember it? Bernie Kosar threw for almost 500 yards, had an NFL postseason record 489. And in the end, one of 5 double OT games in NFL history, Mark Mosley with the winner from 27 yards out. 3rd longest game in league history, 77 minutes and 2 seconds.
I think I remember, if I'm just, that there was a roughing the passer or a personal foul in that game that turned it around for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, gentlemen, sudden death overtime. 2 timeouts each team. First team to score wins. All replays are in the booth. Same coin. Helmet is heads. NFL shield is tails. New York is a visiting team. Who's going to heads? Your call is heads. It is heads. You want the ball? So what do you want to kick? Defend there. Stay where you are. New York won the toss. Will receive.
Will make the Jets go into the breeze. 15-minute period. No coaches' challenges. And overtime coming up from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Heading to overtime, and the Jets will get the football to start it, as they did last week at the Lions.
What makes this, will make it very disappointing, of course. If you lose, you're disappointed no matter what. But the Jets, with the lead, their defense on the field, That's supposed to be what this team is about, and they let a rookie quarterback go down the field on it.
Dawson's kick. Again, 1 yard deep. Smith. They're not going to let go of him this time. Only to the 17. Browns were flying around on the special teams there, including Blake Costanzo. Young man you've been watching play for a long time out of New Jersey.
Lives right around the corner from me.
Ramapo High School.
Just tremendous special team player, and just the type of player that Eric Mangini talks about. Just the guys that do everything. They work hard, they know what to do, and it shows with results on the field.
Sanchez dropping back. Wide open across the middle. It's Tomlinson, and tackled at the 28. I don't see Sanchez limping around like he did when he first came back into the game.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's going to limp too much until tomorrow. But one thing, Mark Sanchez dropped back. Look at that little feint he gives. And it really works well because defenders react to it, and that gave LaDainian Tomlinson an extra yard or two to make a move and get 3 or 4 more yards.
Tomlinson, the middle to the 33.
That was a really big first down the Jets got. You talked about it. What breeze there is into their face. They didn't even get it to the 20 on the return. So a bad punt. The weather's getting cold. That could happen. So getting that first down now eases the tension. And even if you have to punt, at least you change field position.
2nd and 6. Tomlinson looked outside. He got wrapped up. Good piece of tackling by Eric Barton, another former Jet. So now it'll be 3rd down for New York.
Eric Barton, number 50, reads it, diagnoses it. Look how fast he gets outside. The play really wasn't meant to go out there. So once he takes it outside, there's no blockers.
Third and 6. Time for Sanchez. Now to give chase. The pass incomplete. Matt Roth and others were coming after him, and David Bowens of the Browns is the latest Cleveland player to be injured.
Coverage once again, which was the weak point of this defense early in the year. They double team Keller, so there's nowhere to go underneath.
Bowens has been going the whole second half since Scott Fujita was injured with a knee right before halftime. Bowens also a former Jet. Had that monster game down in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago with a couple of picks and runbacks. And suddenly it bursts into a sprint, but the Browns are going to be getting the football from Weatherford. As you said, Phil, into the breeze.
Well, what he did last time, remember, Weatherford kicked it low, a line drive to get under the wind and towards the sideline.
Stuckey, the returner. He's trying the same
There's
method.
the punt that could happen.
Right in the middle of the field, though, and Stuckey scoops it up. And it'll be good starting position for the Browns downwind at the 37. 37-yard punt, 4-yard return. Colt McCoy, when we met with him this Friday, he was talking about learning some toughness from his grandfather down in Abilene, Texas. He calls his grandfather Daddy Burl McCoy, who was on a tractor last week on his farm, and all of a sudden the back wheel hit a bale of hay. It flipped the tractor over. It ran over the back of his neck and shoulders. He's 78 years old. Fractured sternum, all kinds of broken bones. He got on his feet, chased after the tractor, shut it off, passed out. He's watching this game back in Abilene today from a rehab center, rooting on his grandson. He gives the football to Hillis to the 40 for 4 yards. Hey, if a 78-year-old grandfather can chase down a tractor.
Quite a story, really. Quite a story. What do you say? Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Let's don't worry. All right. Of course, he's watching the game today, so we hope his recovery is going well. The Jets defense, there's no sitting back. Now you really have to go after it. You got to be aggressive in your coverage, and I think you got to go after the rookie quarterback.
2nd and 6. They seal it for him. Pass to Stuckey. Oh, good spin move. And he's near a first. He was able to spin around Brian Thomas.
Well, see what happens. The blitz came.
Signal is first down.
Colt McCoy gets the extra time. So you're talking about Brian Thomas, a big outside linebacker, trying to stop a wide receiver in space. And this is what happens. Well, tried to push him out of bounds instead of tackling. If he'd have got his arms out, Stuckey would have been about 3 yards short of a first down.
Got a booth review, I believe.
Oh, to see if he stepped out of bounds?
Maybe the spot of the football. Stuckey with that catch. He was the recipient, if you remember, we were there, of Chancey Stuckey caught Sanchez's first ever touchdown throw in the NFL.
That's
Week
right.
1 last year at Houston. Yeah, they're checking the spot here.
Oh, that's
I don't think he has it.
Yeah, that's a really good job there. I think the yellow line on the field looks like he goes right out on the 45-yard line. So it could be marked back as much as 1 yard.
It looks like a 3rd and 1 is what they're going to have to come up with. I was trying to squeeze this in a little earlier. Now you're going to have 3rd and 1 here. McCoy raced to the line on that game-tying drive. Had to sneak and picked up the first, but they've had 7 situations this year with 3rd and 1, and they've given it to Hillis, and he's 7 for 7. So that might be the play call if they move this one back.
After you, the ball crossed the sideline at the 45-yard line, which is where it'll be placed. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Cleveland at the 45.
Much easier to remark this football for a lot of reasons. It is right hand, and you have yard markers right there. It's identified the 45. Otherwise, sometimes if that's in the middle of the field, they're not going to remark it.
Good job by the guys up in the booth up top for stopping it and reviewing it. Setting up a 3rd and 1.
Well, you said it, Jim. You got Peyton Hillis. You'll hate yourself if you don't go with him and you don't get it.
It's Hillis. Can he deliver it again? He does. First down, Cleveland. Running behind Eric Steinbach. Picked up 2. And now a Jet defender is down. It's Eric Smith. So while he gets some attention, we'll take a little break here in overtime in Cleveland. We're back in overtime in Cleveland. Coming out of the injury timeout, Eric Smith walked off the field for the Jets. Back to their base package with Leonard and Poole, Rivas and Cromartie in the secondary. Eric Mangini trying to defeat the team that fired him. Cole told you this week, Phil, you'd love our locker room. Nobody here cares about our stats. It's all about the team. Just playing to win the game. We don't care about any numbers around here.
Yeah, we don't have to feed the egos of stars.
Little play action. Good time for McCoy, and his pass incomplete. Leonard came crashing in. There is a flag, though, on the sideline, the near sideline. Cromartie was tangled up. Leonard was in on Watson.
There's no foul for illegal contact. 2nd down.
And that flag was thrown at the 28-yard line, away from where the pass was thrown.
That was fortunate for the Browns, too. Colt McCoy, I do not think, saw that Leonard was going to drive on that crossing route. And if he put it right on target, I think Leonard was going to intercept the football.
Need about another, 15 yards, maybe 20 to give Dawson any kind of chance. It's Hillis. Hillis 47 in New York.
Boy, good call. That was something we haven't seen today. The pitch outside. Joe Thomas coming around once again. You just got to get out of his way. And look how low Antonio Cromartie has to go, because, well, why else? You wouldn't want to go high and try to tackle Peyton Hillis.
Kid from Conway, Arkansas, picks up 6, and it's a 3rd and 4. And they're going to go shotgun from the Jets 46. The blitz, the pass, caught by Stuckey, first down, and they're in field goal range. Ball comes out, and it's recovered by New York. Stuckey made the play to pick up the first. The Browns were in position to win the game, and the ball comes out. He is stripped. I think Drew Coleman may have been the one to strip it out. Now there are people saying that the Jets came in off the sideline. They may have been near the sideline and out of bounds on the recovery. Let's see.
A bunch formation that confuses the Jets.
Oh, no, maybe Stuckey was out right there.
I don't think he was. Nope, there it is. Now, do they recover it before they're out of bounds? Nope, they're all in bounds. It looks good from what we can see here.
Watch the right foot right at the 34. That's in field of play. That's
yeah,
it is. A fumble. I don't know how Robisky missed the recovery here for the Browns. Number 80.
Previous play will be reviewed.
Well, the other thing, Antonio Cromartie trying to pick it up and run with it. Wow, if he didn't get that, that was some mistake he would have been tagged with.
Wow, Stuckey had Cleveland set up now to just try to inch it closer for Dawson for the win.
Again, Stuckey's in bounds. The play call, something new we hadn't seen. Oh, you can definitely see the green outside the foot.
He is inbounds, and it's a fumble, a recovery by Cromartie. Again, watch this play out. Watch Robisky go for the Jet player instead of the football. You recovered, you're still in field goal range.
I'll tell you this, though, Jim. When that football's on the ground, I tried to recover a lot of fumbles in my career. Unfortunately, a lot of them were mine. It is unbelievable how hard it is to fall on it or to dive towards it and get it.
It's all happening so fast. And Stuckey being consoled by his teammates as the Jets defense gets the takeaway at the 36-yard line. Got a lot of the audience across the nation joining us now, Phil, and what a game this has been. Jets led it 17-13 at halftime.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, New York.
New York had the football for over 10 minutes on the first drive of the third quarter and came away with nothing after a 19-play drive. Nick Folk hit the upright from 24 yards out. But a late drive engineered by Colt McCoy. Touchdown pass to tie it to Mohamed Massaquoi, sends it to overtime, and now the Jets have their second possession of the overtime period in a 2020 overtime for the second straight week. Play action and the pass coming over to Tomlinson, who's able to hold on and step out of bounds at the 43.
Man, well, Danian Tomlinson, just a nice catch, and he gets about 3 more yards out of it than you think he's going to get.
Tomlinson talking to us this week about coming here and knowing his role. This is not my team. It was like he kind of compared it to a kid coming out of high school joining a college team. Just trying to find his way around the franchise and contribute.
Jim, he did it the right way. You work hard, you earn it, and he is definitely earning it, no question.
Picked up 7, so it's a 2nd and 3. Might have been movement by Keller on the right side.
That's number 81. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Jim Nance and Phil Simms here at Cleveland Brown Stadium. The dog pound is roaring. What a game we've had here today. All these storylines. Mangini against the Jets. The Ryan twins on opposite sidelines. McCoy, a rookie quarterback, directing the Browns down the field to tie it with seconds to go. Second down here for the Jets at the 38. They just got a takeaway as Cleveland was in position to win the game. That's Sean Green, and he is hit early by Hayden and then stacked up for a loss of a yard.
That blitz has been consistent. Every time the Jets have been on the left hash, the corner to the top of the play is coming on the blitz.
Eric Wright is the one made that play. There's Rob Ryan. Boy, his son, he is some kind of coordinator who maybe one day will get his chance to be a head coach.
Well, I think after what his brother's done in New York and had success last year and doing well this year, he will get a chance soon.
Can his defensive unit make the play here on 3rd and 9? They give Sanchez all kinds of time. Now they're in on him. Somehow he escapes twice. Pass. It looked like it may have hit the ground. They're going to rule it a catch. Jericho Cotchery for a first. Boy, that bounced around. Cotchery's hurt. Oh, that's a clean catch. They're gonna get stripped out way too late. Cotchery, incredible effort there. And how about Sanchez? Escaped twice. We have a break in the action. Injury timeout. First down, New York. Well, during that injury timeout with Cotchery, they did go back to another booth review on the Cotchery catch, and wait till you see the effort he makes injured.
After review, the receiver caught the ball, maintained control throughout the catch to the ground. It is a catch and confirmed as ruled on the field.
It was 3rd and 8. He picks up 9, and he was hurt before the grab. Watch
Going across the
Cotchery.
field.
Look at him.
Limping.
Pulling up, and then somehow plays through it and makes a diving grab to extend the drive. That's amazing. First down for the Jets at the 46. Twice the Browns had Sanchez ready to go down with a sack, and he twisted away. They go Green on the ground. Sean Green to the 47 of Cleveland. Picks up 6. Stuckey hoping his turnover doesn't lead to a Jet victory.
The last play, twice Sanchez gets out of trouble. You think this could be a fumble, getting hit from behind, and another move to the outside. Good job by Damian Woody staying with his guy. Just a little nudge let Mark Sanchez get out there and complete the first down.
There was no window there for Cotchery. He made it. Edwards on a wing to the left. 2nd down and 4. Green, he's got outside. That was a must tackle by Eric Wright. Wasn't a whole lot after that if he got past Wright. A gain of 9, and they're now moving into that field goal territory.
Just an excellent run by Sean Green. The Jet lineman, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, gets stuck to his guy. They can't get away. Bowens can't make the tackle. And you said it, Eric Wright. Go low, get your arms out. Otherwise, the game's over. Really nice cutback by Sean Green.
Another first down at the 38 of the Browns. Green into a pile, maybe a yard. There's a rookie, TJ Ward, jumping up and mixing it up for a second with Robert Turner, who has been on that line a lot here in the second half. Robert Turner in for Slauson at left guard. Second and 10. We'll call it no gain. The run by Green. Sanchez dumps it. Green, pick up of about 3. Now from right here, 3rd down coming up. From here, it would be about a 53-yard field goal for Falk into the wind. You might remember the 53-yarder he had a few years ago on a Monday night game. He was kicking for Dallas up at Buffalo, and he made it to win the game.
I think depending on the situation, if the Jets pick up a couple yards, I think they would go for it on 4th down instead of kicking a long field goal. grass, into the wind, I don't like their chances.
Timeout called by the Jets. 5:16 left in the overtime at Cleveland. Jim Nantz and Bill Sims were coming out of the Jets timeout. And a 3rd and 7 on the way. Football at the Cleveland 35.
I think the Browns are a little leery of blitzing because of all the matchups, all the speed and skill players the Jets have. So they've been playing it safe in all these situations.
Sanchez, short drop throw, sideline, caught, reaching out. Smith does not have the first. He's out of bounds at the 30, so they're going to bring out Falk on 4th down and 2 for about a 47, 48-yarder to win the game.
I was going to see maybe that might even be I hate to say it, a booth review, because when he stretched out, it looked like it got inside.
They mark it closer to the 29-yard line. Yep. Weatherford to hold. 2 game-winning kicks in his career. The one I mentioned at Buffalo when he was a Cowboy, and the one last week. This is 47 yards for the victory. Right into the dog pound. Falk. The kick. No good.
The execution of the snap and hold was very average. And you got a kicker who lacks confidence, but the good thing I thought for Falk was that it was a long field goal. So you got to be aggressive when you're kicking it. But watch the snap and the hold. Takes a little while.
Maybe a little inside.
Yeah, never even close.
3rd missed field goal of the day for Falk. And all 3 of them to the right.
But not to be a second. I do agree with that decision. They picked up so close to the first down that I would have went ahead and tried to kick the field goal too.
They take over at the 37 with 4:51 to go in overtime. Hillis brings a whole brigade of Jets in there to stack them up.
You know, Jim, to go back, I thought if the Jets picked up 1 or 2 yards and it was 5 or 6 yards left to go, I thought, well, that 3 or 4 yards, 5 yards might be enough. And they go, don't kick it, we'll go for it. Or you could have punted it, of course. You must keep Colt McCoy in the pocket. That's your first concern if you're a pass rusher.
It's a 2nd and 8. Steps up. Massaquoi ridden down by Coleman, the man who stripped it earlier in this overtime. You saw that reaction too. Chancey, Stuckey saved by the missed kick.
As I've watched this Cleveland offense, just really young quarterback. The way they play today, I know a lot of people say, well, that's how you play the Jets defense. It stopped a lot of their blitz and all this. Yeah, it's a good thought. But the problem is you don't have Peyton Hillis. You don't have this Cleveland offensive line. You can't run it at the Jets like the Cleveland Browns have today. It's a blitz front.
On 3rd down, 3rd and 3. McCoy goes long to Massaquoi. And there is a flag down. Yeah, I was told there was a flag, and we don't see it now on second glance.
You don't always believe what you hear.
Well, McCoy, how about the option to go down the field for Massaquoi? Reggie Hodges again. The former Jet. He had that big fake down in New Orleans where he ran it some 60-something yards. Rudy here will hit at the 5 and bounce sideways. Did that touch the Jets? It may have touched the Jet player.
I think it hit the Cleveland guy first.
Westerman was down there, and that's exactly what they're saying. They're saying precisely that. It was not Westerman first.
The ball was illegally touched first by the kicking team. First down at that spot, New York.
Jason Trusnick again. But still, it'll be New York football at the 9, Phil. 3 minutes, 6 seconds to go.
Cleveland has 2 timeouts too, so all the pressure back on this Jets offense. Most teams, when they're backed up, have a set of plays they like to run. A lot of times it's a play action fake with the Jets in the shotgun. And you throw it short.
Tomlinson. That looked like a little shaky on the handle there. Marcus Bernard running into it after 4 yards. A little hiccup, and Tomlinson held on. Sanchez somehow escapes again. He's got Tomlinson for a big gainer. My goodness, that's a game changer right there. He got away from Shaun Rogers.
Oh, Shaun Rogers has been pushing the pocket so much today. Number 92 just rips right through it. He's basically getting double teamed that time by the center. Robert Turner, the guard. And Nick Mango, the center, they could not hold him out.
Instead of about a 3rd and 15 somewhere inside the 5, instead it's a 21-yard gain with 2:33 to go in the overtime. Tomlinson this time bounces off his hands, and Rogers was barreling in again.
Yeah, he was. They had a nice screen set up, blockers in front. They were engaged. That was going to get some nice yards. This is a nice call by Brian Schottenheimer. Everybody coming up the field. Just Shaun Rogers, you see the blockers in front. Shaun Rogers just got there a little too quick again. So Mark Sanchez put a little too much heat on it, and LaDainian Tomlinson could not adjust.
2nd and 10. This time he's got all kinds of time. Gets Keller at the 50.
All day long they've been trying to throw it to Dustin Keller over the middle. Finally he gets single coverage against Vitrone, and he's able to use his body to catch the football.
Picks up 16, Phil.
And now you look at it, you're the Cleveland Browns. It's almost to a point they cannot win the game. They're just hoping for a tie because of field position and time.
2-minute warning in the overtime. Couple of big plays by Tomlinson. This one to Keller. Last time for each team came against Kansas City. Jets in '88, Cleveland in '89. This is the 4th game this year in the league that's reached the 2-minute mark of overtime. Could have our first tie, though, in the league in 2 years. The same weekend 2 years ago, Cincinnati, Philadelphia.
Everybody's figuring out how to deal with that overtime, Jim Nance.
Been a different story this year. They've been going for a while. Not the first possession trend that had been going on for about 5 years.
Yep.
They're on first down. Quick throw. Holmes pushed out by Wright.
Excellent first down play. You know, let's just go back. This game could have been over if Shaun Rogers sacks Mark Sanchez. Sanchez, for the I don't know how many times since he hurt his calf, got out of trouble.
Yeah, with a bad wheel, able to get away from him.
One play got out of trouble twice.
Yeah, the one to Conchery. 2nd down and a run and room and a flag. As Tomlinson was able to take it down to the 36, but it'll get wiped out.
Holding, offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Brandon Moore,
right guard against Shaun Rogers. Okay.
Did you see it?
No. But I'm not down there. You know, I always say that when you're there in person and close, it looks different, but I could not see the hold. And don't forget, the umpire now is behind the defenders. So Paul King, the umpire's not behind the offensive lineman. He's in front of him, so maybe he saw more there.
Now it's a 2nd and 14. Sanchez pass. He had an open target. Keller. Third and 14 on the way.
Yeah, that was a good idea, but he had to be safe. He couldn't lead him, because if he leads him across the field, it could have been trouble. I probably spoke a little too soon with the Cleveland Browns 2 timeouts. If they make a punt here with the 2 timeouts, they're going to have time to.
Yeah, they will have a shot to win.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get their shot. Two-man rush.
Oh,
he's got it deep. Nope.
Going for Edwards. Pass intercepted. Although I'm going to tell you, it might have been better had he just dropped it. That's Hayden with the pick, because that would have forced a punt. What were the odds that Weatherford would have been able to pin him that deep? Hayden makes the pick. Cleveland takes over at the 3.
Kind of like when the Jets were playing the Denver Broncos. Just a really, I tell you, this is a good decision by Mark Sanchez. Throw it up there and see if you can win the jump ball. And there were receivers behind the defense, but he had to throw it so far and so high the defense could react and get back in position.
Well, you made the point a couple of times. Jets have 1 timeout. Now what do you do if you're Cleveland with 1:35 to go and you're this deep in your own territory?
Well, if you throw it, Jim, the big thing is you just want to complete it, of course, in any situation, just so the clock doesn't fight against you.
Branch and fake to Hillis. Over to Watson. No. He threw it too high for an open. Then Watson.
I'll tell you what that does. That they're trying to win the game. I commend them for that. But now if they run the football, the Jets can call timeout. Then they run it again. They punt it. Of course, if they don't get the first down, the Jets will have time for a couple plays to get in field goal position.
Surprise you they threw it on first down?
Yes, I am surprised.
They have to go run here, and it's Hillis diving out to the 5, and he'll come to quick Jet timeout. Yeah, maybe not. They're going to preserve it, Phil. Again, New England and the Jets came in sharing the East lead. New England playing Pittsburgh tonight.
I would have called the timeout. I would have forced the Browns. If you call timeout, I believe they would have ran the football. And now that you didn't call it, I think it gives them the pass run option. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why I would have called the timeout, to force the hand of the Cleveland offense.
Colt McCoy is not going to get this. He's going to take a timeout of his own.
First charge timeout, Cleveland. They have 1 remaining.
Well, now it doesn't matter.
41 seconds. He'll come over and talk with Coach Mangini and the former Jet quarterback coach.
30-second timeout.
Coach Dable.
He has had that. Listen, Brian Dable's had a great. He's done well today. They have devised the game plan. They understand Rex Ryan's defense. They picked up the blitzes. They stayed away from the strength of the Jet defense. The corners, and of course, until the game was on the line, then they made the throws and catches against Cromartie and Rivas.
Need to get to the 13 for a first. McCoy from the end zone almost got safety into the equation. Jason Taylor comes in.
And final charge timeout of the overtime period for New York. 30 seconds.
Well, the Jets, perfect scenario. They got what they wanted out of this. All set up because the Cleveland Browns being, I think, maybe too aggressive, trying to throw it down the field in that first down play to win the game. I think you set up the return. Anytime you have a punter backed up, they're nervous because they know they got to be a little quicker. They're not as far back there as usual. The punt usually goes a little shorter because of that. You got defenders. Now the Browns are thinking about protection. They should not get down the field as fast.
Ryan Pumprion snaps it back to Hodges.
Looks like they're going after it. I would have played return. Oh my gosh.
Good boot. Leonard scoops it at the 45. Got open room. And he is taken down at the 37. Down at the 37 with the tackle by Titus Brown. 53-yard punt, 18-yard return, 24 seconds, and the Jets without a timeout.
Well, let's see what the Cleveland Browns do. Do they go three-man rush or four? I think if they go three, I think Mark Sanchez will hit the pass and give them a field goal try. Because it has not worked that well. Now they're going with a four-man rush.
The pass caught. In the open field, Holmes taken off, and the Jets are going to win it. Touchdown, New York, and the victory from 37 yards. Santonio Holmes. With only 16 seconds left in overtime, Sanchez on a slant to Santonio. A couple of missed tackles later, and the Jets win it at 26-20.
All day long. A nice catch by Santonio Holmes. The defense, Eric Wright stops. The safety misses the tackle. TJ Ward misses it. Oh, look at Eric Wright. He pulls up because he sees the defender. Barton's coming right at him.
He just like pulled up as Barton was approaching right here. Eric Wright's got to play on it. And then Ward, the rookie, missed the tackle. And Santonio Holmes, back-to-back weeks, making plays in overtime.
Absolutely. Well, that was the guy that the Cleveland Browns worried about at the wide receiver position. He is the big playmaker. Oh, yes. What a game by Mark Sanchez. Hard to believe, second year, how well he's played in some of these tough situations. How well he played today in the adversity of his calf hurting, getting out of trouble and making it happen. Rob Ryan, just a great effort by the Browns in all areas today.
What a hard-fought battle it was. The Twins going after it. The older brother by 5 minutes wins it with 16 seconds to go in overtime. Final score, 26-20. The New York Jets take it. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show for Phil Simms and all the crew. This is Jim Nantz saying so long from Cleveland. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. We'll join James Brown in New York right after this.